Hello and good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to practice. It's been so windy. We're getting these like gale force winds as far up to like Boston and beyond, just these like really intense windstorms. And I was just looking yesterday, we were like sitting on the couch, look outside. I was like, wow, it was super sunny and warm. And then it got crazy dark. Like the clouds just came in and like crazy dark. And then the wind started blowing, like the house felt like it was like rattling. And then it started snowing, like horizontally snowing because it was so windy. Tom and I were like, what is happening? And then it was over in like 10 minutes. And then it got sunny again. And it's just like on top of the actual like weather that we're having, there's like whiplash with it. I feel like one day it's like gorgeous, and then the next day it's like this hailstorm. So like those fluctuations, don't take them for granted. It's like a lot to take it. It's a lot. So anyway, so I thought that a grounding practice would be just the thing for today. And yoga in general is really grounding just because it brings you into the here and now. It connects you with your body. There's a lot of emphasis on feeling like the feet on the floor. Like a lot of these like sort of like mindfulness awareness practices are always going to have a grounding effect on our mentality, our physicality. But I also want to say that like to be grounded doesn't mean to be like unmovable and unshakable and like totally rigid. Like sometimes I think of like a really like centered and stern person or something as being really grounded, but that's not really what it's about either, right? Grounding forces in our lives allow us to like sway in the wind like those like mighty trees. Like we allow us to bend and withstand the winds of life because our roots are so deep. We're so like deeply connected to the earth. Always think of connected to the tree and connected to the groundedness of those like really huge old mighty like Celtic oak trees, like those like mythical oak trees almost. Like they exist, but they're like super ancient, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. And it's said that the trees are as deep with their roots as they are high in the sky. So it's like this perfect balance. The funny thing about these like old Celtic oaks is that like as the wind blows over time, it creates this like torque value in the branches that will wind the tree like slowly. So there's this phenomenon where the bark goes up the tree, like coils up the tree. It seems like that because the tree is actually slowly being twisted over time. And it's like strong enough and deep enough to like withstand this kind of pressure. Not only that, that phenomenon in the bark actually wrings the sap out, this like medicinal sap that like druids and other cultures would like harvest to like create medicines and stuff. So there's almost like this lesson that like the more grounded you are and the better you take care of yourself, the mightier you can be. And like that just serves your community. I just love thinking about it like that. And today we're going to just be bringing a lot of awareness to the feet, bringing a lot of awareness to the base of the body, all of that connection to the earth, and moving through like a lot of kriya as well. So like a lot of breath and movement, like synchronizing, which I always feel like is really meditative and like brings us into the moment like really nothing else can. And a little bit of visualization. So I'm so excited that that was on the list as well. Let's get to it. We are going to begin. You need 2 blocks for today's practice. Of course, always have a blanket nearby if that would feel good too. We're going to begin with seated with the soles together and the knees wide in Baddha Konasana. And we're going to bring a little like restorative twist to that. If you're using the new playlist, grounding playlist today, brand new, you can cue it up and press play. Okay, so we are in Baddha Konasana. Soles are together, knees are wide. You can put your seat on a blanket if you want to do that too. Always nice. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together and grabbing those blocks, we're going to create a nice little tower of support. We can rest our head right on top. So I'm at the tallest or most supportive setting, which is 2 blocks. stacked at their longest setting. And you can scoot the heels a little farther away if you're feeling a lot of sensation in the groin. Just let yourself get set up here. And then if you want also, you can slide the hands underneath the calves here and let the palms and fingertips also rest on the earth. So we're like really, really connected here. If you can see my fingers, my hands here underneath my calves. And just let yourself physically arrive, and then bringing the awareness to the breath. The awareness arrives. Nice deep breaths, feeling them fill the belly. With the eyes closed or the gaze soft, we're going to continue breathing deeply like this. Really emphasizing those exhales, just getting all the last bits of breath out at the bottom of the exhalation. Maybe pausing at the bottom of the breath. And imagine now visualizing that you are seated in a glowing, warm pool of red light. Red, of course, being the color of the root chakra. And you can just feel really nurtured by this, really soothed. Allowing the base of the body to relax even more, sinking into the earth, into this pool of light. If you want to take your support down a little bit, turning one of those blocks to be a bit shorter, no pressure to do that, but of course there's always the invitation to go deeper if that feels appropriate. Continuing to watch the rise and fall of the breath for another moment or two. And then you can hold the blocks and slowly rise. Just setting them to the side for a moment, rising up across the legs, sit nice and tall. Now growing out of that connection. And then blinking eyes open, we're going to bring the feet to the floor with the knees bent and grabbing your block once again. We're going to twist to the right and just tap that block down next to the hip. Inhale through center and tap it over to the left. Go side to side. Highest level will be, less of a twist. You can bring it down nice and low for a little bit more. Keep your heart lifted. Keep the feet and the sit bones really stable. Keeping the heart lifted will really activate the core here. You can even lift on the pelvic floor, drawing those bathroom muscles up and in to feel even more rooted for 5, 4, 3, 2. One more time to the left side. And then back to center, soles together, knees wide. Just fold forward now. You can use the block if you want to. Excuse me, hold on one second. Ooh, that frog really jumped up. You can use the block if you like, or you can just hold it between the hands as you fold. And then rising up, knees together. We're going to repeat that, just doing it a little bit quicker. You also have the option to float the legs with the knees bent this time. And on the exhale, we'll twist right. On the inhale, we twist left. You're going to be wobbly here, and that's fine. You can also set the feet down and lift them back up. Yes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep that heart lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center, soles together, knees wide, and then pause here. We're going to actually open the feet up and place the block between the feet. So you can have the feet on the short edges of the block if that feels okay, or on the long edges of the block. This is a really nice opener for the low back. We're just going to fold forward as the feet press on either side of those blocks. You could even, like with your palms, like press your toes in. It feels kind of nice. Nice, satisfying exhales here all throughout class. Getting all that stagnant prana moving, releasing, flowing. Slowly rise, come onto hands and knees and into your first downward facing dog. You can move those blocks maybe to the top of the mat. We won't need them for a little while. Once you're here, just a few deep breaths. What does it feel like to have the feet and the hands on the ground at the same time? Keep the biceps lifted, and the thumbs and index fingers spiraling downward. And then from here, we're going to look forward and walk or take a big step up to the hands. Bending the knees, pour yourself over the legs. Let the head and neck just dangle. Relax. You can gaze back between your legs. Sorry, there's really nothing like a forward fold in the morning. And then slowly, let's rise. Soften the knees. Feel the feet pressing down as you grow upward. Feel that downward force pushing you to stand tall. Give your shoulders a nice roll at the top of this. Coming into a really wonderful Tadasana mountain pose. Nicely done. Heel toe the big toes to touch. It wouldn't be a grounding flow without a little bit of chair work. So we're just going to get it out of the way in the beginning. So the big toes are together at the top of the mat. Inhale to chair, dropping the seat back and down. Sweep your arms up. Draw your belly in. Beautiful. Now flow the arms all the way up back, reaching back. And as you reach back, shift forward and lift your heel. So now we're on the toes. Good. Steady those eyes. And now as you inhale, the arms are going to swing overhead and you're going to rise to standing. Still on the toes, gazing forward, feel your legs get firm. Big breath in. As you exhale, drop your heels and swan dive down to the earth. Touching the ground with your fingertips perhaps, or maybe bringing the hands to your legs in some way. Make a connection. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, fold down. Chair pose. Heels are rooted, arms are light, overhead or straight ahead. As you exhale, swing the arms back and shift your weight into the toes. Lift your heels, keep your bottom low. Good. Charge up. Inhale, rise. Sweep the arms to the sky. Still on the tippy toes. Exhale, the heels drop and we fold. It'll get easier each time, hopefully. Inhale, flat back. Maybe hands to shins as you feel the heart lift. Exhale, folding down, soft knees. Inhale, chair pose, reaching up or overhead. Reaching overhead or straight ahead, excuse me. Swing the arms back, shift forward. Keep reaching low. Inhale, rise, reach the arms high. Still on the toes. Exhale, heels to the mat. Swan dive down. Let's do two more. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, the arms sweep back. Lift the heels. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Flat back, inhale. Exhale, fold down. Chair, Utkatasana. Navel is strong. Sweep the arms back. Beautiful. Oh, lift your heels. I almost forgot. Inhale, rising up. Strong on those toes. Hold it. Reaching high. 5, 4, 3, 2. Heels to the mat and fold it down, yogis. Inhale, flat back. Let's start to flow. Right foot lunges back. Keep the heel and the knee lifted. Inhale for a runner's lunge. Get nice and long. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here. We're flushing through our first vinyasa. We'll lower to the belly. Tucking toes. Inhale for cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet together. Inhale, your right leg lifts high and behind. Exhale, step it up through the hands. Take a breath in as you look forward. Exhale, stepping forward and fold. Inhale, head lifts. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, rise. Option here to lift your heels. Reaching tall. Exhale, folding back down. Good. Inhale, flat back. Exhaling, the left foot's going to lunge back this time. Breathing in as you look forward. Keep that back knee lifted. Exhale, stepping back, downward facing dog. Staying here or flushing through the sacred vinyasa. From down dog, inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it up through the hands. Breathe in, look forward. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise. Option to lift the heels. Exhaling, hands to heart center, heels on the mat. Cleansing breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, arms up. Option to lift your heels. Exhale, bowing down. Let's go again. Same flow. Inhale, lifting your head flat back. Exhale, right foot lunges. Keep the knee lifted. Breathe in and look forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Vinyasa or stay in down dog. From your down dog, right leg lifts. Exhale, step up through the hands. Inhale, open your heart, breathing in. Exhale, stepping forward. Fold. Inhale, lift your head. Exhale, bow it down. Inhale, rise. Option to lift your heels. Exhale, swan dive with the heels on the earth. Flat back, lengthen. Exhale, left foot lunges back. Breathe in, look forward, feel your heart open. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here, we're flushing through. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step through the hands. Breathing in, look forward. Exhale, stepping forward and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bowing down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Samastitihi. Cleansing breath, coming back to the moment. Let's bring hands to the hips. I'm going to come right into balance. So settling the eyes. We're going to shift the weight into the left leg. Slowly drawing the right knee Reaching down, catch the ankle and place that foot for tree pose, vrksasana, above or below the knee. Very nice. And then we're going to have the arms sort of relaxed down by the sides, shoulders turned out, and create a little mudra connection between the index finger, the tip of the index finger, and the tip of the thumb. Setting the palms open to the sky. Steady breath. Drawing the navel in. We're here for 3. 2. And 1. Bring the hands together at the heart and lift that right knee in. Hinge through warrior 3. Keep your hands at heart center. This is tricky, standing on the left leg first. Press your heel up and back, and then step back to a high lunge. Nice. Just find your feet. Take your time here. So we've kind of float in, and a way that may require a little adjusting. Just feel those front feet, your front toes pointing forward, all of your front feet pointing forward. Your back heel is going to press towards the back of the mat. And then the mula bandha, those bathroom muscles are going to lift up and in. Steady your eyes and reach your arms up. Now, as you exhale, we're going to flex the hands and press them down. And as you do, straighten your front leg. Like you're pressing the earth away to rise up. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, flex the hands, flex the wrist, press the hands downward. Straighten your front leg. Inhale, crescent lunge. Full and complete breath, so there's no rushing this. Maybe sinking a little deeper each time. Let's lift and rise into our crescent lunge, Exhale into warrior 2, grounding your back heel. Open into your warrior, gazing over your front fingers. Beautiful. Feel the force of the ground drawing you toward it. Interlace hands behind your head. And inhale, radiate your warrior, pointing that left elbow towards the sky, staying deep in the front knee. Exhale, tip your other elbow to the sky. And just flow like that, trying to stay as steady as you can in your base. Inhaling back. Exhaling forward. This time as you tilt back, straighten your front leg. Almost like a radiant triangle here, variation. And then inhale, open the arms to a T, rising up. Turn your front toes in parallel. Coming into wide-legged fold, hands on the hips. Or you can interlace hands behind the back. Inhale, lift your heart. Ooh, feel that openness happen in the chest. And exhale, fold forward, send your knuckles overhead. The crown of the head is heavy. One more breath here. Releasing your hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands around. Frame your front foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Flushing through vinyasa if you want. You can stay in the dog or you can take a balasana, child's pose. All meet in down dog or child's pose for a few rounds of breath. Kind of a long sequence there. Not to be repeated on the other side. From your downward facing dog now. Looking forward, let's travel to the top of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, rise up. Option to lift your heels. Exhale, hands to heart center, heels on the mat. Hands on the hips, preparing for balance. Once again, bring the weight into your right leg now. Float the left knee into the chest and reaching down, touch the ankle. You can place it above or below the knee. Make sure those toes are pointing down. And there's a really nice firm connection between the sole and the inside of your leg. They're sort of like pressing in toward each other. Nothing too crazy, but there's some reciprocity there. And then with the arms by the sides, open the shoulders back. Tips of the thumbs connect with the tips of the index fingers. Steady breath in tree. And then hands to heart center, lifting your knee in. Hinge back through warrior three. Soften that standing knee. And crescent lunge. Good. Take your time to find your footing. And then you can sweep the arms up overhead. Love. Exhale, press the earth away, straighten your front leg. Good. Inhale the arms up. Bending back into that front knee. Firm the legs as you press the earth. One more time this flow. Keep your base really strong. Crescent lunge. Exhale. Warrior two. Adjust the feet so that front foot should be bisecting at the back arch. Arms overhead this time. Inhale, reach back. Actually, arms overhead, you can have a block between the hands. It's actually really great. Inhale, tilt it back. Exhale, reach it forward. Flow with your breath. Feel how the core will hold you steady, the base will hold you steady. 2 more rounds. The next time you tilt back, straighten that front leg. And opening the arms wide. Turn that front toe, front foot in parallel. Of course, we're grounding, talking about the feet and everything, and I'm like mixing up my feet words. So from here, if you have your block, maybe it comes in handy. If you don't have it, that's fine. Hands on hips or interlacing hands behind the back. If you have your block, maybe placing it down so your head can rest on it. Taking a breath in, lift your heart, and then fold. Releasing hands to the earth. Inhale, flat back. Walk your hands around to frame your front foot. Step back to a downward facing dog, flushing through your vinyasa. Or just staying put. You can also take child's pose here. Nice. So, from down dog, from child's pose, it doesn't matter where you are. We're going to come to the belly and set up for Sphinx pose. So if I do grounding flows, I like doing sort of belly down back bends. Just again, like opening up the spine, opening up the chest, but still just being grounded about it. Good. So here we are in Sphinx pose. The elbows stacked under the wrist, under the shoulders. The hands and wrists are running in line with the elbows. If you need to, you can interlace here for more support. But of course, more grounding, have the palms flat, fingers spread wide, your heart shining forward. Now really press into those hip bones and try to lift your right leg. Maybe it's just a little lift. Exhale, lower down and switch. Lift your left leg. Keep pressing the earth away with the elbows. One more on each. Actually, we're going to alternate back and forth. My brain is, it's all this wind. It's getting me all like confused. We're going to lift the right leg as you inhale, exhale it down. Left leg as you inhale. Exhale, set it down. Just go with your breath, moving really consciously. Keep pressing down into your root, into your elbows. Good. One more on each side. And exhale, lower down. Wiggle it out of the hips. Nice deep breath out the mouth. Keep your head resting, bend your right knee, reach back and grab the outside of your right foot. And we're just going to draw that heel in towards the bum. Pressing that right hip flexor into the mat. Just feel that quad opening up. Very slowly. Releasing that foot. Switch hands, bend the left knee. Grab it with the left hand and just stretch that quad. Keep the knees at least hip distance apart or a little closer. Just try not to let them splay out too far. Very gently release, wiggle it out of the hips. And then we're going to bend both knees, reach back, grab the tops of the feet, getting ready for bow pose. So if bow pose isn't in your practice, you can just stay here, resting and feeling the heels draw in towards your seat. Nice double quad stretch. Or kicking into the hands, lift your heart and take down your asana. Heart opening forward. Energy in the hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, and let it go. Wiggle it out. Hands under shoulders, press back to tabletop. Beautiful. And tuck the toes, all 10 toes tuck under. And then we're going to bring the knees together. Sit on the heels just for a few moments. Hands can be at heart center, or you can have them on the thighs. If you like to feel, again, that like downward force. Keep the shoulders rolling back. Heart kind of lifted towards the chin dropping into the throat. You can really activate that ujjayi breath here. Say just 3 more rounds. Now bringing your weight forward, untuck your toes. Oh, sitting back down on the heels. And now from here, bring your hands behind you and like lift your knees and think about like stretching the tops of your feet. You might have to situate your feet in a way that this feels good or makes sense. And if you take Supta Virasana, you have the knees close, the heels wide, and you can lower maybe onto the elbows or all the way onto your back. You can play with that. Very deep. But for some people, it's just like instantly available. It's just so funny how like how different our bodies are. Maybe you're here sitting on the heels, toes untucked. Maybe you're leaning back, giving your knees a little bit of a lift. Or maybe you're all the way back, exploring, what is it? Virasana? Supta Virasana? Yes. Beautiful. Let's bring ourselves forward again onto hands and knees. We're going to come into pigeon pose, sliding the right knee up towards the wrist. We're really getting into the base of the body for the end of class, huh? Let yourself lengthen out. That knee is going to run parallel with the hip. Maybe it's slightly wider. You could do this on your back, figure fouring the right ankle over your left knee. So you could take pigeon pose whenever you're ready, lowering down. Might be nice to grab that block of yours, place it under your head, or you could place it underneath your right thigh if you're feeling like a really big lift there, or that your right hip needs a little bit of support. Always feels nice to kind of like wedge a block between the earth and kind of like the top edge of your thigh, right underneath your seat. Right? Only if that makes sense, though. That block can also rest under the head. Find the breath. Relax the jaw. And kind of like grounding technique, or like sort of a source of grounding, is like math and numbers. I know we all have complicated relationships with math, or some of us do. But there's like a certainty, right, in math and numbers, which is why I find that like mindful practice of counting the breaths is really so effective. There's just this certainty about what number comes next, you know? And in this shape, you can count the breaths, maybe 1 to 5, inhaling 1, exhaling 2, and so on, all the way up to 5, and then starting again. Let's slowly rise up, deep breath in. And then we're going to slide that back knee in and just take it back into a child's pose for a moment. Rising up, tabletop, sliding that left knee towards the left wrist. Turning the foot out, getting nice and long. Here we go. Inhale, we lift the heart. Flex your left foot, and you can use your block in whatever way you did on the first side, unless there's some kind of surprise on this side. And just lowering in, counting the breaths if you wish. Keep checking in with any like sneaky tension that might build in the jaw or in the brow. Take another breath. And then on your breath in, rising up, bring that back knee in, shift back into your final child's pose. And then we'll make our way onto the back. I'm going to grab my sweater. Once we're here, goalpost the arms. Bend the knees, bring the feet to the floor, and now feel the length of your spine pressing onto the mat. Now pressing into your feet, swing your hips over to the right side of your mat and let your knees fall to the left. You're going to stack the knees, supporting your top leg with your left hand. Just hold on. And breathe. Come back to center. Reset the spine, reset the arms, and then swing your hips to the left. Let your knees fall to the right. Right hand grabs the top leg and breathe. And back to center, resetting. And one at a time, let the legs go long. Toes flopping out to the sides. Walk your shoulder blades down and away from the ears and let your hands rest somewhere on the body. So maybe on the belly, on your hip flexors. Take a couple really deep release breaths, and every exhale, feel yourself just sinking a bit deeper into the ground, into the embrace of the earth. And for Shavasana today, I have an excerpt from a poem called Truth's Virtue by Christine Evangelou. Truth in all her virtue will be your sunrise, your sunset, your morning breeze, and your bedtime nest. She will want a home in your heart, guiding your way as a star that pounces from the heavens. Chasing cheating goes away. She will be the fruitful soil from which a sincere and striking beauty will spring free, with sagely roots to ground her as the mightiest tree. You can stay here in your rest if you would like to, or you can begin to move the body, deepen the breath. Roll into your side. Taking that seed position, you can press yourself up slowly and bring the hands to heart center. Just feel the breath moving in you. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May our thoughts, words, and actions contribute to the safety and the freedom of beings everywhere. Namaste.